Well, I just had to recreate another live stream for you here to get you up here on camera. You're back on now.
Yes, sir.
If you're just joining me, we've got Mario Benavente, who is the running for county commissioner at large.
At large.
Former county city council member. Been texting back and forth with Lindsay Whitley from the school system, who's supposed to be in here. He was under the weather over the weekend and unable to make it in here. So we'll reschedule him and
That's
get
all
him.
right. I'm always here to support our county, Cumberland County Schools staff, and we can start now.
All right. Well, we'll continue with our conversation. We're just now talking about your involvement in the city council and how that changes in terms of a perspective from a county perspective. Similar, community serving, but on a broader basis here. And you have a much bigger constituency that you have to reach out for when you're dealing with at large.
100%. And it's actually really exciting the way we've been able to go into new neighborhoods, talk to more folks that I can't tell you how many, Gilbert, that reached out to me and said, apparently, despite my Fayetteville address, I live in the county. We were ready to vote in this last mayor's race. And so we're really excited about all the folks that are going to be able to participate in this upcoming election because it's right around the corner. February 12th, early voting begins. The madness is already back. It feels like we just got done with November, but here we are.
Let's talk about that because we have a half dozen people who are running at large.
That's right.
Including two incumbents. Mm-hmm. Is it two or three?
Two.
Yeah, two incumbents. And then you got to get through that, and then the actual election is in November.
That's right.
It's a pretty long haul, and you got to have some pockets in order to do it.
Certainly.
So you have the support in the community financially to make it work?
Yes, we've had such an incredible outpouring when it came to our mayor's race. I think folks were really ready for us to really kind of break out and be able to do even more service. And the dynamics changed, of course. And there's still, I think, an expectation that we need a little bit of, Mario B magic to be a part of the community decision making. So when folks kind of said, hey, the county commissioner's race is coming around, we still support you. We still want to see you. We've still got some issues with E. Smith High School. We still have some issues with Massey Hill High. We still have issues with Howard Learning Academy. I can go down the laundry list of Cumberland County courthouse related issues, not to include DSS, Health and Human Services, DJJ, Department of Juvenile Justice. There's so many different areas that we were always sort of touching, but now we can kind of get a full hand on as the next county commissioner at large. And those are the kinds of issues that I know that community members are excited to support us in, and not least of which is our volunteer base. I think unlike any other candidate running for this office, we're the only ones with a street team that can knock these doors and really have conversations with everyday folks, get them involved and engaged, because no matter what, the solutions to a lot of these issues aren't going to come just from the 7 people sitting on that board, but it's going to be citizens that are getting more involved.
The frustrating thing has to be, I don't care if it's city or county,
Certainly.
is the very low voter turnout that comes out.
Every time.
When you look at the numbers and you say, we got to do better, you have such a small handful of people.
Sure.
Putting people in office that make decisions for the majority of us. How frustrating is that for you?
It's a dynamic that I want to see changed. The likelihood that that's going to happen between now and March the 3rd for the primary is very low. And so we do hyper-focus on those super voters, those folks that are always coming out. And once we're in a position where we have a leg to stand on as an elected official, that's when we try to expand the electorate. That's when we try to go out and talk to folks who typically may be registered, may not have actually gone out to vote. At least they don't do so consistently. There's an opportunity to kind of sell them on the concept that this is why it matters. And it's usually folks of my generation. It's usually the younger folks that are very much, in the middle of their careers, middle of taking care of sort of more urgent, immediate needs that they're not always plugged into yet a whole nother set of issues that come with municipal and local government. So we've got to make it palatable. We've got to meet people more than halfway because not everyone is in a position of privilege to be able to split their focus in so many directions.
Well, turn on my microphone. That's the thing that a lot of the young folks who may not vote or may not be paying attention don't realize that a lot of the decisions that are made
100%.
by the county commissioners impact them very directly.
Very much
in terms of housing. Or their livability.
Well, the property taxes, I think, really woke some folks up. Even if you're not a homeowner, if you're renting, you're probably seeing an adjustment being made by your landlord. And those are issues that I think kind of wake folks up and get them to recognize that, well, beyond just your pocketbook, there's a lot of, whether you have young ones that are in the school system, you want to live in a community with good schools because that's what brings good jobs. And that might be your next career move. All of these things are interconnected. And it's been, again, a great privilege of mine to be in a position where having these conversations with folks, I can kind of break past a little bit of the, yeah, but who cares? Or, what does it really mean? Well, as someone who has actually served, my friend, I can tell you exactly, how this connects. And that's been the difference maker. I think a lot of folks are rightly focused on their careers and their families, and sort of their circle of being able to give a care is very small. I feel very privileged and lucky to be in a position to where I can have those conversations to kind of bridge folks to looking outside of just maybe their most immediate needs and start to recognize their role in this greater community that we have.
And that's a conversation that's kind of difficult to have with some folks, one door at a time, I guess, knocking in, and trying to get the message out. As you look out, and we talked about this a little bit before the break, and we have probably some new folks who are joining us now on the radio. If you are just joining us right now at 7:50, we've got Mario Benavente, who is former city council member, ran for mayor, didn't win that race, but now your hat is in the ring to run at large to become a county commissioner as well. And so we were talking before the break about the water issue.
Yes.
And not only just the fact that we have a Fuquay Arena wanting to take water out of the Cape Fear River, but we've got contaminated water for folks in a good portion of our county because of the Chemours plant.
Yes.
And folks downstream in Wilmington as well. Your take on that and what has to be done? Because when I hear that the county or PWC or someone's going to add money or a tax or make us pay more money so that we can clean the water, I think that should all be done by the person who put the impurities in the water. That's my take.
Well, I 100% agree. And the thing about the lessons that came from the Chemours plant and all of this issues with our water supply, there are continuing threats to that. When you hear about other communities that are fending off the big data centers, when you hear about folks fending off more and more high polluting or high usage sort of companies that want to come around, confuse folks, take advantage of communities that are not organized to be able to have their demands and their concerns heard, that is the role of a dutiful and thoughtful county commissioner or elected official to say, hey, we hear that there may be some benefits financially on one side, but how is that going to impact our current water usage? How is that going to impact the downstream effects to the cost of community members who are going to have to pay now for all of the water that is being used in your really huge mega data center? These are all issues that have to be balanced between the economic benefits and then, of course, the community concerns with the health and well-being, the environment, our long-term sort of way of looking at these things that, I'm lucky to be someone who, is recently married, plans to be in this community for the next 50, 60, 70 years, God willing. And we want to make sure that we're looking for a future that is going to be taking care of most people.
Those are a lot of years.
I need them. I got a lot to do, Gilbert.
Well, and I've known Mario since the high school days of my daughter.
That's right.
I've known you for quite some time. And, I don't know any attorney who's ever short on words. And,
no, sir.
And the LSAT is basically an English test.
That's true.
It is. I mean, you have people who want to study political science to become a lawyer, and I know it's an English test.
That's
Be
right.
an English major.
100%.
Well, look, I appreciate you coming out, Mario. This won't be the last time. We'll get you through the primary, see who's left standing, and then we have till November to go. So I'm interviewing as many of the Cumberland County candidates who are running for a county commissioner who want to. I've reached out to some. Some have responded. Some haven't. I'm not begging anybody to come on the radio show. If they want to come, that's fine. If they don't, that's fine.
If they know what's good for them, they'll come on down to WFNC. I just want to remind folks that February 12th, early voting begins. You've got 2 weeks of early voting before March the 3rd when the primary day comes and goes. You can pick your top two. I'm hoping that I'm a lot of folks' number one choice to be the next county commissioner at large, but if I'm your number two, I'll take that as well. So you pick two, and then those two folks for the Democratic side will go on to face the Republicans who currently do not have a primary. So there'll be 4 candidates on your ballot in March going into November. But yeah, I'm hoping that folks check out Mario B to get us through this primary on March the 3rd.
All right, Mario Benavente, so good to see you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gilbert.
We appreciate you. You're listening to News Talk 640 WFNC. We've got Fayetteville's most dependable forecast right now with CBS 17 meteorologist Rachel Dunsing.
Today will be another mainly sunny but cool day with a high of 45 degrees. Overnight will be clear and cold with a low of 21, and Wednesday will be partly cloudy with a high of 51. After a chilly few days, Thursday and Friday are trending warmer, but that is ahead of an active end to the week and start to the weekend. It is possible we have wintry precipitation this this weekend. We'll, of course, keep you updated on this developing forecast. That is your Fayetteville forecast. I'm CBS 17 meteorologist Rachel Dunsing.
All right, Rachel, thank you so much. The temperature has not moved much. 29 degrees right now in Fayetteville, Fort Bragg, and also Spring Lake. You're listening to News Talk 640. We're WFNC.
Cumberland County's hometown news and information source. News Talk 640 WFNC. Stream online at WFNC640am.com. Never a password, never a fee.
Launch into a universe where sound and starlight are one. Fayetteville State University presents Pink Floyd's The Dark Side of the Moon, an immersive planetarium show that turns the iconic 1973 album into a cosmic journey. 10 4K projectors, a 6,500 watt surround system, every Friday at 7 p.m., now through June 26th. Tickets $12.02 at etix.com. FSU Planetarium. Music meets the cosmos.
At Fort Bragg Federal Credit Union, we believe in giving back. Every day, we offer better loan and deposit rates, lower fees, and our exclusive loyalty dividend rewards you for keeping your business with us. Since 2018, we've returned nearly $6 million in loyalty dividends to our account holders. At Fort Bragg Federal Credit Union, the more you save and borrow, the more you earn. It's that simple. Best of all, you can open an account. Call 1-800-79-FB-FCU or visit fortbraggfcu.org today. Fort Bragg Federal Credit Union. Exceptional value, unmatched service, better banking all the time.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. If you're over 55 and with one of the big three carriers, like Verizon, you may notice they don't talk much about their 55 plus